of 7 from the three-point line. George for 3. Oh, he knocked it down. Paul George with a dust. George was 7 of shooting for the Clippers. Drives in on Bullock. He goes in. Hello, nasty.
That is just 1 of 8 from beyond the arc. Kind of, he's been that way the last few games.
Ball dribble. He's still only 25 in his fifth season. Break it off.
Oh, no.
And the foul.
Oh, no.
That's not fair either.
Hold up.
Paul George broke it.
I just took some cash. And that's cash right there.
Paul George goes to down. Spin. On-reads impossible
to stop. Down 5. Keegan guarding George. George spinning. Layup.
Just happy for that young man.
George has got a little one-on-one. Pulls it back.
No, Bridges brings it back out. George over Bridges. Another! George to screen from Patterson. Flings a 3, and it is all systems. KZ guarding Paul George. George, step back. Oh.
The fact that they got a defensive stop and an attack in transition creates a good look at ball.
Players in the league on and off the floor. George back in the game, making an imprint to the rim. George, step back 3, put it in. Drives on McDermott, stops on a dime. He's the mid-range of the season against the Knicks the other day. George, a step away. It's good. The first bucket for Paul George. That's 4 by the Lakers. Here's Paul George, 6 points so far. Make it 8. Damian Lillard on George. He goes to work. He spins twice. He is fouled and 1.
Recognizing we've got to play earlier in the shot clock.
Paul George.
None of that's going to matter, though, if they can't get stops on this end.
That's a tough shot, Paul George. Clippers looking for the lead. George puts it up out the window. It's good. Are you kidding me? Paul George with 20 shots in the first 6 minutes of the fourth quarter. George. Oh, book it for Paul George. 7 points. Clippers are down by 6. George, can he do it again? Yes, sir! They're in perfect position to get it. Back to Paul, gallops into the lane, sneaks.
to the traditional center, and then we'll see more of LeBron and at times, of course, AD at that spot. So just expect Dwight for
Next level defender that the Clippers don't have. Should be more opportunities to attack.
Splitting defender.
Quickly doubled in that corner. Shot clock at 6. 7-2 run here by the Clippers.
4 on the 24. Paul George from long distance. Far side to George. Late in the clock. Step away 3. Wow. Paul George knocked.
years at Florida State, the former Seminole. Paul George is in very deep.
Here's Paul George now back in the game at the 7:32 mark. He goes to work in the paint, fakes a pass, spins, corkscrews in his opponent.
Anyway, I'm not going to put this guy in position to get hurt moving forward.
They still got another all-star out there. Paul George, Batum, got it. George comes the other way. Here comes Paul George, gets inside, layup, beat back.
40% shooting for the Clippers inside, forcing it.
But he hasn't been on the floor in a game since the 22nd of December. How about that?
Here come the Clippers the other way. George, pedal to the middle, tied up, finishes.
Paul George off the man's 3. George working against Buddy Hield. Played on 3 teams the last 3 seasons. George, a step back, foul circle jumper. It is good. 9:12 to play. Paul George disappears.
He's signaling to the referees.
George off the pick, into the lane, the Euro step, and
Carolina, that looked like a 4-corner stall. And look out. It's Leonard, gets there.
Figure this thing out and kind of get some stabilization.
George on the wing for 3. George drives into traffic, pulls up, shot's good. Hornets down 10. Paul George, a step back 3. George tries to play with 2-man game. He calls his own number. Oh, weak mate. George going 2 for 1. The 3. Oh my goodness!
George, once again, Bogdanovich. Step back three, splash for Paul George. He is fit.
Early, make Paul George see bodies.
George crosses, sweeps it right back to Larry Nance. And sticks
Figured out the last game that Zubac was in foul trouble, and he just got uber aggressive.
Paul George.
Paul George leads the way with a dozen for three. Paul George leads the way with 15 on a perfect. They ranked 29th in the league in three-point percentage. Paul George, a little mid-range without the mask. George looking to draw a foul, drills it. George, who scored some points as well. Little step back three, and George. Not yet the enemy, but it's getting there. George down the lane to the rim. Off the
12-point Blazer lead. Paul George trying to get it off. Does for three. Yes, and a whistle.
After an emotional and tough series against Utah from Friday night to Sunday.
They're starting 5 on the floor. They've led by as many as.
Bulls just 4 of 14 here in the third quarter, so the defense has a say. Get in there, count.
Knowing that the defense, when the Clips wasn't set, able to drop it into a run for easy two.
George, strong drive, back to the basket, lays it up and in. 21 for Paul George.
Leonard on the floor for LA. George, big finish, and the foul. With a 1-point lead, here come the Clippers. George muscling in on Highsmith, and the foul. Ball's come playoff time.
And Bird, they were 17-3 in 20 games.
Paul George makes his move behind the back, pulls up jumper. It's good.
George. Tough shot.
Into Clipper run, making it now, approaching 6 to play. Oh,
Clippers, there'll be no shot blocking at the rim. George, jumper, got it. Paul George.
That screen. You can't catch up to get back into the picture.
Paul George, pull-up jumper, got it. Phoenix has a foul to give. George drive, goes inside for the slam. With 2 score for them in game 1. It'll be Paul George.
ball reversed to the other side of the floor. They play 2 on 2 on one side.
Ever since, lead cut down to 8. George in attack mode to the rim. A graceful glide, and he leads.
Knows what we're emphasizing, so it hasn't been too big of a challenge. Now, in 3 games since his return, the average.
PG checks the rear view. Long strides, chops his steps into the lane. The 1-2, count it, and the foul. Paul George, head down, shoulders leaning, right to the cup for the
2-second basket. George saunters down the lane.
For cash in the first 4 games.
George on the pull-up, nails a 3.
There you go.
There you go. He's inside. 3-point line. Clippers creeping back into it. George from the line to the lane to the rim. Oh, takes it to the house and makes a little noise.
Down by 5. Just joining us, Kawhi Leonard on the bench with 2 quick fouls. George launching butter.
Defense, but we got a long way to go to get to that one.
Battling inside. Just out-jumped Zubac there.
All 7 of his field goals in the paint. That will count.
And he'll just go into it with the utmost confidence.
12-4 Sacramento run. George
As well. Well, you know why he's so smart, right? I mean, he's highly intelligent, like Paul George right there with that jump shot. It's picks up.
George down the lane. Look out for this game. Paul George, the step back.
You got to get on transition and run. You did it earlier, but you need more of it.
George frees himself up.
Clippers have the ball. George driving past Bam. Paul George for
Paul George just trying to get that ball. Here is George. Is he?
The Wizards look like they're in that matchup 2-3 zone right now.
It's Paul George getting to the
Putback.
George. Soft Porzingis.